Hey, viewers, George here to do a special first impression of George Talks. Ooh, special. What could be so special that George has to talk about it in the first impression you might see at the bottom of the screen? Well, folks, I'm obviously talking about the fact that I got one of these Wii U things. This is just the gamepad, but I'm not going to lug the whole system and hold it up here. It's dumb. But I will hold this up, and you can see the reflection of the camera. Look, there's the camera that's recording it. I think that's the camera, I can't see it. Okay. So the Wii U tablet gamepad tablet. What's really, it's really hard to put a thing, like an exact, like rating or some sort, or like, should you, well, grab it like, with this Wii U, because at the moment, it's very, bare, and there's still like a few bugs, but I mean, they're being fixed. And if you're like one of those people who are like, I want to grab a Wii U, a part of me says like hold off until, January maybe, when a lot of these little problems will be fixed and like a lot of the features will be up and like there'll be a bit more of a community that's flourished. There'll be more interesting selectable games that are going to be out by that time. But as of right now, this is this is how I'm talking about. As of right now, which is like a week and a half since the Wii U's been out, is it worth buying? What do I think about it? What are my first impressions? Okay, so one of the interesting things about the Wii U is obviously that's a fantastic controller here, the gamepad. You can probably see all the nice little fingerprints I've already made on it, which are bugging the crap out of me now. Which I will get into in a second. Yes, I am wiping this off with my t-shirt. So, the tablet. If you've ever... the best way to describe it is if you've ever played like a DS or something, it's sort of like that, but like a home console version of that, because you get your top screen, which is your TV, and then you get your fantastic little touchscreen, which is all on this. Obviously, when you first grab this thing and you're holding in your hands, it's the most awkward thing to hold. But it doesn't take long to get used to this, and it's weird that Nintendo's gone back to more of a controller base, especially with the Wii. Because one of the things that made the Wii very successful is the fact that it was very motion based and whatnot, and a lot more people who are less game experienced or more of like the casual market, so to speak, would pick the Wiimote up and know exactly what to do and whatnot. Whereas if you were to pick, this hunk of a beast up, you have like button galore on this thing. It's a little crazy how much, because okay, so you got two buttons on the back here. You got two top ones. You got, I should probably do this. You get your two thumbsticks, you get a D-pad, you get some buttons over here, you get your plus and minus button, TV button, which I'll get to in a sec, you got power, home, and this little thing, which I still have not yet to figure out what the fuck it does, but I'm pretty sure it's like, your mouse or whatever, which makes less sense. I haven't played any games that really use it, or a reason to use it, probably the internet browser. Get to all those in a second. Oh, and she has a mic, which you probably can't see on the camera, but there's a mic like right next to the home button. Comes with a stylus, so there's where you can use it with some games, which a few games do, but more games have you actually touching it, and like I said, I'll get to that in a second. Okay, so yeah, picking this controller up and whatnot is very awkward, and I can see where a lot of the market's going to be very limited, considering less people who were playing the Wii because it was so very pick up and play for the casual market, for families and whatnot. The Wii U probably might scare people in that sense. But there's a lot of games that don't really necessarily make it so hardcore buttony. Games like Nintendo Land and maybe sort of Super Mario U don't really use too many buttons. I mean, like, Nintendo Land actually barely uses any fucking buttons in some of their games. And it's more touchscreen or, motion-y, and they teach you. And it's very, like, basic and you can quickly catch on. Uh, and Super Mario Brother U, it's a couple of buttons and that's it. So, oh, and you can click these things in. Oh, I love buttons. I do that. Okay, so yeah, the tablet is really interesting. I haven't had any problems with the touchscreen. It's very responsive. The screen itself, it looks fine. Comparatively, if you were to look at the screen to the TV, the colors on the tablet screen are a little, washed out. I guess I don't know what the exact wording would be, but they don't look as bright and colorful and fantastic as they do on the TV screen, which I guess is a little unfortunate because one of the huge focuses obviously was there are a lot of games that can just, when the TV's off, you can play it on the tablet. So I mean, if you're looking at the tablet and it's not as colorful and vibrant as the Wii U has been put out to be, and what we expect from Nintendo games to be really awesome looking, that's really unfortunate that it just doesn't appear as well on the screen. Another weird thing is a lot of times, especially when I was playing Super Mario Brothers U, which I'll obviously get to those in a bit, well, not in a bit, like in another video, I was looking at the screen a lot more than the TV, which is really weird. I don't know why, it just feels really weird, because it's like you're holding it, the game's on the screen, but you're looking down at the tablet, and it's like, I don't know, it's a weird instinct. Maybe it's because I've been playing a lot of the 3DS lately or something like that, but yeah, I just find that really fucking weird. I was looking more at this than that. And I'm curious if other gamers are actually doing that, because there's not really another system that has been out, that like a home console system obviously that's been out, that has a screen on the fucking controller and the screen on the TV that you look at. So it's a little bit weird. Okay. Yeah, it's just really weird. Because like I said, no one's really experienced something like this before. Not that I can at least think of. So, it does take a little getting used to, and I'm even still trying to get used to, maybe focusing more on the TV screen, which looks way better than the screen on the tablet. Okay, so, what other things must I mention about this? Or about the Wii U overall? The Wii U has a couple of really neat features on it. One of which I really love is this thing called the Miiverse, which is more or less a forum base that is on the the Wii U. And basically, you can be playing, like, say, Nintendo Land or Mario Brothers or Zombie U or whatever fucking games you grab for your Wii U. And there is, like, a forum section for that game, so like you can post and boast about your accomplishments in the game. You can ask questions like, oh, how do you get past this level, or how do I do this, or how do I go get that? Other people who haven't even played the game can go onto those and ask if the game's worth grabbing, and basically get some sort of like a yes or no sort of thing, or like even a mini review of some sort from people who are actually playing the game, which I really think is a great idea. It's a great way to keep a connected community within the actual game and system itself. But yeah, it's a really cool thing with the whole forums, and I wish more systems and like companies and stuff would pick up on it, because I mean, like, Steam does that obviously, more in a forum-based way, or communities and whatnot. And it's definitely a great way for people to figure out whether or not the game's worth picking up, whether or not it's even worth looking into, or whatever. So the Miiverse is there. I think some of my problems with it is it feels like a forum. I was about to say like a 4chan forum, but I mean, it has some regulations too. I mean, like, you can say like someone's violating this, or someone's posting up spoilers for the games. You can even like hide things. So if it is a spoiler, you can hide it within the post or whatnot, so people can avoid it if they don't want to spoil the game for themselves. Which also is a really good idea. But I mean, like, there's like for Rabbit's Land, I went just to check in there to see if anyone's talking about the game, if it's good or not, and it's just sort of been owned by these people who are just posting something random about some random person or whatever, and it's and that's I mean, like, yeah, obviously something like that's going to eventually happen, but I don't know, it's weird how like unregulated it feels, and I guess in a way that's a good thing, but in a way it's also can be a bad thing because people can just sort of like overtake like dead forms and whatnot, and that's even another thing is like what's going to happen to forms that no one's like using and become like inactive. So like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years from now, are forms for like Rabbit's Land or Zombie U still going to be active? Are they still even going to be there? Will Nintendo get rid of them to make space for new ones that people are going to be talking about? It's something that's people are going to be wondering, and like if it's going to really affect anything, because I don't know, there's not been anything that's done like this, and no one really knows what to expect. Like, once again, no one has any idea what's going to happen with the system because it hasn't been done. So it's a lot of questions that are sort of unanswered, and so, yeah, you just don't really know. And I have no idea where I was going with that, but that's alright. Food for thought, I guess. So yeah, Miiverse is really cool, and it has some implications and shit. Also a great way to meet people, and people to fucking randomly add you. So, what else needs to be talked about? Right off the bat, there were some apps that come with it. Netflix and YouTube. And obviously there's an internet browser and the eShop. And Nintendo TV, which doesn't come out till December, so I can't really comment on that. Which is unfortunate because I was really looking forward to looking into that. Okay. So, right off the bat, the Netflix and the YouTube app didn't work for me. I did get the update for them and whatnot, and for some reason they weren't working. And of course, I'm going to the Miiverse to see what other people are saying. I'm not the only one who's alone. People are also having some problems with it, and I hope those get fixed because I love using Netflix. I love going onto YouTube, and making it easier just to go on a console. It makes it. I love watching fucking YouTube videos on my TV. That I do with the Xbox and the PlayStation 3. So, hopefully those get fixed. But from the few people who have actually played it, they've been saying that apparently, like, the YouTube app isn't all that great. And if you rather just go to YouTube, use the internet browser because apparently it's better. Of course, the internet browser actually works fantastically fine. What very little time I've spent with it. It works fantastic. It works great. It's an internet browser. What do you expect? I was able to do like basically anything you can do on your computer except for downloading stuff, obviously. So those are all there, and they'll probably be fixed and tweaked and whatnot. Speaking of internet, for the first couple of days I had the Wii U, for some reason it is getting like a lot of internet connection problems, which could be, obviously some people are going to be like, well, your internet connection probably sucks. But of course, anytime I play any other system when it's hooked up, I've never had any internet connection problems, and I never probably will or whatever. So, I don't know, that was just really weird. I mean, like, it never happened with my Wii, never happened with the 3DS or the DSi, so very random indeed. But of course, like I said, it only lasted for a few days. Now I don't see any message saying like, oh, there's a problem connecting to the internet or whatever. Or it just happens very, very rarely. Like last night I was on Zombie U and it just popped up. And yeah. So, continuing, the eShop. As of right now, there's not a whole lot on the eShop other than, like, obviously retail games are up there. And a few downloadable exclusive games are up there. Hopefully, like, I haven't read too much about what they're planning on doing with the eShop exactly, and I'm really hoping that they'll put like some classic games on there, like, I don't know, GameCube classic at this point. But what they have up there right now, and the way the layout is, it's a little confusing. It's a little, it could be it could be better, definitely. Because what they have is, when you go on there, there's a front page that advertises the new stuff. Obviously makes sense, and that part looks good. It looks fine. You know, it's easy to browse, and then if you want to like go into the other stuff, like what's not on the front page, you either go to see all games, which will not only show you all the games, but also all the videos that are uploaded. So it's like software and video, which is stupid. Or you can go to the search bar and refine your searches to what you want, which this might sound like a very nitpicky thing, which it probably is, but it's weird that that's like your options for looking into like other things. It's not like I just want to look at independent games, or I just want to look at the retail stuff. I have to like go into like I have to go from the menu to the submenu to another submenu sort of thing, which is very, you know, problematic. And well, like I said, it's a nitpicky thing, but like the other Nintendo systems never really felt like that. I don't feel like that when I'm in the eShop on the 3DS. I didn't feel like that when I was in the, you know, the DSi's shop thing, or with the Wii Shop's channel, or, you know, like with Xboxes, it's fine. With Steam's, it's fine. PlayStation 3's recent one sucks, but that's beside the point. Basically, what I'm just saying is, reorganize it, I guess. It's a little weird to go through. Well, you know, when they start adding more content, I'm pretty sure they'll change it up every so often to apply to what they're adding on there. But as it stands right now, it doesn't look too promising. I didn't get a chance to buy anything, so I don't know how the transaction stuff work, but no one seems to be having really any problems. Storage on these things. So I got the deluxe bundle, so mine has like a 32 gigabyte storage on it, which obviously for a Wii or a Nintendo console, it's a lot, because, you know, you're most of the time you're just putting save data on there, and that barely takes up anything. But if you were to download something, like a full game on there that's a retail game, you might run into a little bit of a problem. I haven't, like I said, I haven't downloaded anything, but I have people, like friends of mine, who have downloaded stuff and said that it takes up a lot of room on there, which is unfortunate because people who grab like the basic one, they get like less space on there, don't they? They get like, I think 15, 12 gigabytes, or maybe it was 20. I think it was 20 gigabytes. I don't know. I don't have that. But if it's taking up a lot of space, that means like something you're going to want to invest in is like an external hard drive of some sort, which obviously you probably might want to begin with if you're going to start downloading a lot of games. But it's just something to look at if you're looking into grabbing the system, or like you're anticipating grab it. You're going to want to set a little more money aside probably. Anything else that needs to be mentioned? Overall, the system's really sleek. Oh, I should mention, I'm looking at the system. There's this nice little feature. Well, it's not really a feature, but I'm just gonna put this on the charger. It's not really a feature, but it's just something on the system. If you have a disc in the system, there's a light that shows that there's a disc in there. Like I said, it's a small thing, but I like that. More systems should do that. I don't know why. It feels it should be natural to say like, oh, you got something in there. Like, even if you don't have the system on, you can see there's a light there that's telling you that there's something in, there's a disc in there, which I like. Oh yes, this is the Wii U is completely backwards compatible as far as I know with the Wii, with Wii games, and obviously uses Wiimotes if you've seen anything with this. Wiimotes are used, so that's really nice. That if you are like someone like me or most people, you already own a Wii, and you know you just use the controllers that come with your Wii. You can use them with this, which is really good, and a lot of games actually really support it. I don't think I'm missing anything beyond that. I talked about the tablets. A lot of games on the tablet require you to use your fingers on the touchscreen, which I really don't like. Because that means it smudges the screen and just starts to look really bad, and already the screen doesn't really show really vibrant colors as it does on the TV screen. So smudging it's going to make it even look worse. Look even worse, sorry. Talked about some things on there. Community's nice, I guess. I haven't really run into any problems with people like bashing one another. So yeah, the Wii U is actually pretty cool. Like I said, if you're looking into grabbing the Wii U, and you're sort of like you want to grab it, but you're willing to like hold off for a bit, wait till January or February, because by then the system's gonna go through like another update or two. It'll fix some of the bugs. Hopefully, like the Netflix and the YouTube app might be fixed and actually work. More games will be out that are gonna definitely start taking more and more use of it, of like the gamepad controller and whatnot. And more people are definitely gonna have it by the time Christmas comes around. People are gonna be opening Wii U's like fucking when the Wii came out. So, with that all said and done, until next time, keep on gaming. Chapow!